Hey, put down those pencils. So I can feel you all out there already doodling your scripts in little thumbnails with word balloons and saying, I don't need all this script stuff. But put your pencils down. We're going to finish writing the script proper. You're wasting your time doing a lot of sketching for nothing when what you want to do is type out your story and rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it and then do your sketching once you've perfected your story. Don't perfect your story in the sketch level. So let's go to our other view here. Okay, I didn't introduce myself, sorry. This is Hugh Did It, and I'm Hugh Chapman, and this is my 100 Days of Comics, Day 5. I hope you're enjoying it so far. If you've got any feedback or criticisms or recommendations, please put them in the comments below. At the end of last uh, video, Day 4, we had got to the beginnings of page 3, had got about halfway through, and I told you I would finish writing the rest of that page, which I did. So let me just give you a quick recap of page 3. After the, and I'm just going to set my timer here and make sure I don't go over too long. After the the inciting incident on page 2, which was the full moon coming out, the the antagonist, the female in our story, turns into a werewolf, and she takes a swipe at the main character, the guy, and says, "Stand still, human." And then the main character goes, What are you?" Like, shocked. Um, and then she sort of uh, sardonically refers back to a joke the main character made on page 1, which was the fur and sharp fangs didn't give it away. And then in panel 3, he said, "How did this happen?" I mean, some of this dialogue, we're going to have to clean it up and perfect it a little bit because, that might not be something somebody's going to think is plausible, someone would say. But anyway, doesn't matter. Spit it out, vomit it out, get it on the page. So the main character said, "How did this happen?" The werewolf said, "Full moons have a funny effect on me." And then that's about where we were finished yesterday. So then panel 4, we switched the antagonist around with the main character in terms of the flow of the script. Doing that sort of breaks things up so it doesn't seem too monotonous. So the antagonist says, "I'll make it quick if you stop moving." And then the main character said, "I thought you liked me." And then the werewolf in panel 5 says, "What does like have to do with it? You think I can stop this? Just ask my previous boyfriends." So we're kind of trying to like tell her story a little bit through her dialogue. It's not much, I know, but it's only 4 pages, so we're trying to like sort of um, subconsciously, inadvertently, indirectly insinuate her backstory, right, by some of these comments. So then we go to panel 6 where it's the werewolf again, and she says, um, "There's no stopping this bloodlust. It burns worse than fire. I'm afraid you must die tonight," which he says to the main character. And then in panel 7, which is the end of page 3, he sort of takes his unicorn head puts it on, right? It starts to glow kind of. So we're kind of creating a moment that something's about to happen. And he says, maybe I can help you with that. Um, so we've kind of raised the stakes a little bit, I think. We haven't resolved any conflicts yet. I mean, we're not going to have tons of them anyway. I mean, it's only 4 pages, so we basically have one inciting incident, one conflict, and we're going to resolve that, and that's probably our story. Um, but I'm doing this so that you guys can actually see portrayed in real time the the elements of story produced. And I hope it's not boring you to death, but uh, hang in there. We got 100 days to go, so you better have patience. Okay, so we're on to page 4. We left off page 3. Hero is pulling on his, for lack of a better term, unicorn helmet, and that that might be a title as well. Maybe if it was a comedy. uh, okay, so and right as he's doing that in the picture, we want to make sure that the werewolf is getting ready to spring, like is definitely like recoiled. Actually, that's a better word, to spring on the main character, or just coiled, recoiled. Yeah, recoiled means kind of pulling away. I think it's coiled. It's better. Just an example of every single word choice matters. Every single word choice when I do the review. And by the way, if you're getting bored, you can skip ahead to certain points in this. We haven't got it yet, but along the way, I'm going to have a review video. So if you're getting bored with this, but you kind of like what's happening, every week or so, I'll review the videos and you can just follow along with that if you just don't have the patience to follow it all. You won't get all the stuff, but you will get the high points. So um, in my review, I'll tell you a little story about, if I remember, I'll tell you a little story about um, the, I should write that down. I'll tell you a little story about words in a story being like a lumber pile. Okay. Okay. So, panel 1, page 4. The master character has transformed into a magnificent unicorn, generating its own light. The werewolf is midair, ready to claw him to pieces. And panel 2. I'm not sure how much, there probably won't be that much dialogue on this panel from what I'm thinking of it, but maybe we'll just have the unicorn, the main character, unicorn, whirls. So basically, what we're looking at here is a Godzilla-esque battle between um, good and evil in the form of two mythical beasts, a werewolf and a unicorn. So, as the antagonist, uh, werewolf. Misses and rolls into corner, something like that. Um, uh, there's going to be some dialogue in here, but this is action first, so this might be a tip. Like if you're in certain points in writing, you might be more focused on dialogue than on action. So that I don't know if it helps you, but just as a possible tip is if you're focusing on plot and you want to fill that in with dialogue, write out the plot as in the panels with the descriptions, and then go back and excuse me, go back and fill in the dialogue. If you're more about getting the dialogue out at that point, writing the dialogue in terms of the panels, and then go back and fill in the descriptions. Um, what do we got here? Don't have too many panels. I think so, final panel for sure. We don't know what that's going to be yet. Is going to be uh, the main character helps the antagonist down the alley with the full moon setting in front of them, and they live happily ever after. Yay! So, uh, antagonist, werewolf stands in menacing pose to taunt the MC Unicorn. I'm just full of unique titles today. Huh? Uh, need some dialogue here. Unicorn. Right, she called him human before. Now she calls him a unicorn. Don't make me laugh, unicorn. Eh. um, you. Okay, so panel 4. Panel 4 is werewolf attacks. And is run through by the main character's horn. Uh, I'm going to make this a little bit different from the howl before, but close enough, hopefully, that it seems like a howl. I'm going to put here anguished howl. Um, let's see, panel 5. Why have panel 1 be? Okay, just kind of spinning over in my head, kind of a loose idea of panel placement, like trying to just think about whether or not what I'm writing is going to fit something. So this is, as a writer, you kind of, you know, need to have a basic idea of how comic books, um, artwork wise, artwork wise, are put together, right? Um, just so you can kind of try to keep it in the realm of possibility. I mean, if you are working with another artist, chances are they're going to do probably something different than you think, but still. Um, so panel 5 is the werewolf. Is sort of, clasping her chest in fetal position. Beginning to change back to a human. What? What's? And then unicorn. Hmm. Um, the unicorn says, one touch of my horn dispels all evil curses. Um, let's see here. I'm a little concerned about getting too many pals, but never mind. We'll just carry on. Okay, panel 6 is going to be um, unicorn. You're going to be all right. Let's see. This is antagonist. Has turned back into a woman. She is let's see, the main character, unicorn, is removing his unicorn helmet. The unicorn helmet. Uh, turning himself back into a human. Thank you doesn't seem like the right kind of thing to say. Anyway, she needs to say something, 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 something gracious. Here's how you can do something and just continue moving on in your story and not get hung up on it. You know it needs to be something, but you just can't figure out what the word is yet. but it doesn't need to hold up your writing the story, right? So actually, this turns out to be panel 7, which is good. Okay, and the antagonist says, maybe we could start over. And the main character says, sure, dinner? Or actually, maybe all this needs to be is the main character. The antagonist doesn't have to say anything. Let's just make this main character. When he says, maybe we could start over, say, I don't know, say dinner tomorrow night. And that will be a cute ending to the story. Maybe this could be, my horn dispels all evil curses. This could say, you're cured, you're going to be all right. And then she says, I'm so sorry. Can you ever forgive me? Okay, guess what, guys? We're out of time. That's our story. Next video, I'm going to rewrite this. We're gonna just pick it apart and try to make it better and um, perfect it as much as we can. So anyway, as usual, if you like this video, hit the like button down below. If you really like the video, hit subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell next to the subscribe button. You'll get notifications every time I put one of these videos out. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.